Welcome to OnlyFacts, fellow Halloween enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into the eerie, enchanting, and occasionally hilarious history of Halloween. Grab your candy corn and let's get this spine-tingling story started. Our tale begins over 2,000 years ago with the Celts, who celebrated Samhain, pronounced Samhain, the festival marking the end of harvest and the onset of winter. On the night of October 31st, they believed the boundary between the living and the dead blurred. Picture it. Bonfires blazing, druids in robes, and perhaps a few startled sheep wondering what in the world was going on. Fast forward to around 43 AD, when the Romans conquered Celtic territory. They brought with them two festivals, Feralia, a day to honor the dead, and Pomona's Day, celebrating the goddess of fruit and trees. Pomona's symbol? Apples. And just like that, we've added a fruity twist to our spooky saga. Maybe that's where bobbing for apples originated fruits and ghouls in one go. As Christianity spread, the church sought to replace pagan holidays with Christian ones. Enter All Hallows Eve, the night before All Saints' Day on November 1st. So, basically, Halloween was born out of a desire to make sure the dead didn't have all the fun. Imagine the church trying to convince the Celts. How about we dress up too? You can be Saint Patrick, and I'll be Saint Francis. The name Halloween comes from All Hallows Eve. But it's not just a name, it's an invitation. By the 19th century, the holiday started to become more about celebration and less about somber remembrance. In America, Halloween morphed into a community-centered holiday with costumes and parties. If you thought costumes were just for kids, think again. Adults were strutting around like nobody's business, and not just on Halloween. By the late 1800s, Halloween was fully embraced in the United States. Irish and Scottish immigrants brought their traditions, including carving turnips. Yes, turnips. What you didn't know was turnips were the original jack-o'-lanterns. Ancient Celtic cultures were known to carve turnips and place embers inside to ward off evil spirits. That's because Ireland didn't have pumpkins. When immigrants brought over their carving tradition, Americans began carving jack-o'-lanterns from pumpkins because it was simply easier. The story of jack-o'-lanterns is based on the Irish folklore of Stingy Jack, a man who tricked the devil and was cursed to roam the earth. Long ago, in a small village in Ireland, lived a drunkard named Stingy Jack. He wasn't held in very high regard by the townsfolk. One evening, Satan overheard stories of the devious deeds of Jack and decided he must have this fellow's soul. Jack may have been stingy, but he was quite clever. When Satan came to collect his soul, he successfully made the case that the least Satan could do was allow him to have a final drink at his favorite pub. After which, Stingy Jack left Satan on the hook for the tab. Jack suggested he turn himself into a coin to pay the bill, and they would be off on their journey to the underworld. Satan was fooled when Jack took the coin and put it into his pocket alongside a crucifix, thereby trapping Satan in his pocket. The devil begged and pleaded, and only upon agreeing to leave Jack alone for 10 years was he released. Exactly 10 years later, Satan found Jack stumbling home from the pub. With a heavy sigh, Jack looked at the devil, knowing full well that he intended to drag him to hell. Jack made the request of Satan to climb a nearby apple tree to get him a final snack to eat before the journey southbound. Satan, apparently still not as clever as Jack, climbed the apple tree. While Satan was climbing the tree, Jack carved a cross into the trunk, thereby trapping Satan up in the tree. The devil begged and pleaded, and only upon agreeing to never take Jack's soul to hell was he released. Many years later, when Stingy Jack took his last breath and died, St. Peter refused him entrance into heaven for all his evil deeds. Satan refused him entrance into hell due to their contract. In one final parting gift, Satan gave Jack an ember ablaze with hellfire. Alas, Jack was stuck roaming the earth with only a carved turnip glowing with hellfire to light his way. When Stingy Jack ceased to be, Jack-o'-the-lantern began. On Halloween night, keep an eye out for a restless, wandering soul every time you see a jack-o'-lantern, for it may just be the hellfire glow from Jack's lantern. Now, let's talk trick-or-treating. This beloved tradition dates back to the 1920s and was initially a bit more chaotic. Imagine kids vandalizing houses for candy. Eventually, it evolved into the friendly treat or else we know today. And just a heads up, if someone hands you a toothbrush, that's not a treat. Today, Halloween is a billion-dollar industry. It's not just about candy, it's about costumes, haunted houses, and pumpkin spice everything. Seriously, if pumpkins had $1 for every time they were used in a latte, they'd be richer than most celebrities. And let's not forget those elaborate decorations that make your house look like a scene from a horror movie, complete with that one neighbor who takes it too far and ends up scaring kids into therapy. So there you have it, the spooktacular history of Halloween. From ancient rituals to candy-filled nights, this holiday has evolved into a delightful mix of the macabre and the merry. If you like all things history, make sure to hit that subscribe button and comment below what your costume is this year. Can't wait to see your answers.